Okay.
All right, we're recording.
Okay, let me get this up. Okay. All right, then if I go into presentation mode, present. Wow, fancy. Okay, can you guys see this? Or Leticia, can you see this? Because I can't see anyone now.
Yeah,
hello?
We can
okay. Okay, because it moved my whole thing. Okay, so welcome to the brand new coach getting started right call. We wanted to put this together to give you some first steps on what you can do as a brand new coach. So we'll share a little bit about us, and then I'll go over an agenda, and then we'll hop right into it. So I am Ashley Molstead. Leticia is going to talk in a little bit. It's Leticia Dominguez. We are both 6-star Diamond Elite coaches for the year. That probably means nothing to you if you're a brand new coach, but it's kind of a big deal. She's in Dallas. I'm in Portland. She is also the #1 Latina coach from last year, so you're in very good hands with her. We both are married, we have dogs, and we both retired ourselves. So I was in the corporate environment, had planned to just climb the ladder and go through the rungs, and she was a teacher, an elementary school teacher, and now we both do this full time. I think you retired at maybe like 15 months, 18 months or something like that. Same for me in the business, and we both earn 6 figures a year. So the cool thing about all of this is we were total strangers when we both started in this business. And now we talk every single day, and we are business partners and best friends. So this business will bring some pretty cool people into your life. And I think one of the biggest perks is the community that you get. Here's what we're going to cover tonight. So we're going to cover your very first steps as a coach, what the things that you should be spending your time on. So the 3 vital behaviors, we'll go over those. Talking to you about how you start right where you are. Don't wait until you have certain results, or you have more money, or this or that or the other. You're going to start where you are, and we'll share with you how to embrace that. We're going to share with you how to not only embrace it, but to post and share about that on social media. We're going to teach you what to say and how to interact with people. We're going to talk to you about why consistency is so important in this business, and act as if. We've got slides for all of these, and then also creating results from action. So these are what we're going to go over with you tonight, and we're going to start with your first steps as a coach.
Okay, so I'm going to take this one. So one thing I like to say right away is just to breathe, to take it in a little bit at a time, because I know this can be overwhelming. I remember when I started as a coach and it was like all this information, I was like, holy crap. So it can be overwhelming, but just know that just take it a little bit each day. Take it bite-sized bites here and there. And it's just like any other new job, when we used to get new jobs, and it's like at first it could be overwhelming. It can be a lot. It can seem like, whoa, can I really do this? And then as you start to get your feet wet and you start to take it day by day, you start to get familiar with everything. Then you're like, okay, this isn't so bad. Because one thing you'll find in this business, it's very repetitive. And so you're going to hear a lot of the same things over and over and over and over again. So don't freak out. This presentation is meant to be put together to kind of help you guys, ladies and guys, I know there's guys on this call, just kind of get your feet wet. But it also can be like a lot of information coming at you. But just know you're going to hear all of this over again at some point or another, for sure. So the first thing I like to talk about is the 3 vital behaviors. And if you've already been a coach for a little while, you've probably already heard that, because you're going to hear that from everyone. 3 vital behaviors, 3 vital behaviors, which honestly now there's four vital behaviors. They just added a new one. But the first 3 vital behaviors are inviting, making sure that you're always inviting people to some sort of group. And I like to think of that as inviting, but also just communicating, right? Inviting and communicating. Talking to people every single day, not necessarily just about Beachbody, but just about just starting conversations in general every single day, but inviting to groups, free groups, paid groups, sneak peek groups, anything you have going on that we have going on in this as a team, be sure that you're inviting people to, because if you don't invite people to what you have to offer, how are people going to know? And I know a lot of times coaches think, well, I'll just post a public post on my social media and that'll be enough. But that truly isn't enough. Because if someone sees that, they might not feel like you're speaking to them. Like, honestly, a lot of the magic is going to be behind the scenes, those behind the scene messages. So it's like, kind of like, let's just say, for example, I'm having a birthday party right at my house, and I make a public post on my social media like, hey, I'm having a birthday party at my house this weekend, 8 p.m., BYOB, see everyone here. You know, and what if someone sees that post, they're like, oh, Leticia's having a birthday party. Oh, I wonder if this means me. Like, can I show up too? I mean, she didn't specify. Should I go? Should I not go? Versus if I privately message someone like, hey girl, I'm having a birthday party this weekend at my house. I would love for you to come. Would you be able to come? That is so much more meaningful, and I'm speaking directly to that person versus just throwing up a post, a general post, and thinking everyone's gonna know that that's for them, and thinking everyone's gonna feel special because of that post. Honestly, especially in the beginning, I know for me, rarely did I get people to join my groups from public posts. Rarely. It was all behind the scenes. It was all private messages. It was a little scary in the beginning, but the more you do them and the more comfortable you get at getting uncomfortable, the better you will get at it. And then one day it's just going to be like, oh, I'm messaging again, you know? So don't be afraid of that, and know that that's where the secret lies, is behind the scenes. So the next vital behavior is being proof the product works. Hopefully you all should be already on a program from day one to day whatever, and you should be drinking Shakeology, and you should be using social media kind of as your diary to track to just speak on your journey, right? It's like a diary, so you can let people know what you're doing, the emotions you're going through, what you're experiencing with these products. That's the only way people are going to know, like, oh, she's doing 21 Day Fix and she's drinking Shakeology. And as you get a little further in your coaching business, you'll find ways of how to post things where it doesn't always like come out too salesy or something like that. But also don't worry about that, you know, like don't think, oh, I don't want to post this because I don't want to come across too salesy. If you're sharing from your genuinely sharing from your heart, it will never come across salesy. But you do need to be proof that the products work. So you do need to be doing a program, drinking the shakes, and sharing some kind of progress. It doesn't always have to be the progress on the scale. It could be non-scale victories. It could be about how you're feeling. It could be about your energy levels. It could be about really anything that you're experiencing. You want to be sharing that. And then sharing the support and the community that you're getting now from a group of women and men. I have a couple of guys on my team. And you talk about that, because a lot of people lack that. They lack having people to motivate them and cheer them on. And now you're a part of an amazing team who's there for you. So just always try to sit down every single day and think, okay, what can I share today that's going to let people know all of these new experiences I'm going through, whether you're at your ideal weight or not. And trust me, no one ever gets to their ideal weight. That's like non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get to that ideal weight or ideal body image, like, oh, what's next? So it's never going to get there. You just have to share where you're at. And we'll talk about that a little bit too. And the third one is one of my favorites, because it's the one that I feel changed me the most as a person and helped me grow the most in my business. And that's personal development. Ashley and I will get blue in the face of letting you know how important personal development is. And honestly, I think if you would ask any top 10 coach or any coach in the network who's had tremendous success, and if you ask them, like, share one tip with me, they will say personal development. So be sure that at least 15 minutes a day, you are marinating your soul and your mind with some kind of positivity, something that's fueling you up, that's hyping you up, that's just making you feel good, or that it's also teaching you. I see two different sides of personal development. Like, sometimes I'll get a book because I want to learn something specifically, like how to be a better leader, an effective leader, or how to get good at social media. And then sometimes I'll pick personal development that just makes me feel amazing, like you are a badass or something like that. Either way, like as long as you're reading something, have to, super important. For me personally, I also do podcasts and National Wake Up Calls and old experience and old calls, but those for me are a bonus. Like for me, true personal development, it comes from a book, either audio or a old-fashioned turn the pages book. When I was a teacher, I stopped listening to the radio, so my commute to work was either podcast, audio, or National Wake Up Call on the drive back home, which I had like 40-minute commute to and from. Again, podcast, any kind of audio, any kind of National Wake Up Call, or old National Wake Up Calls. When I was getting ready in the mornings, when I was making dinner, like anytime I could squeeze in, I would squeeze it in. Because I always heard from the top coaches, and they would say, if there's something that you cannot do that day, that thing cannot be personal development. Because that's easy, right? You're like, oh, I don't have time today, I'll just not do personal development. That's the one that should always be a non-negotiable. So you should always need to squeeze in there at least 15 minutes a day. I would say that I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago at all due to personal development. And it just makes you a better person, a better leader, and just a better coach, and a better mother, and a better employee, and a better everything. Like, you're bettering yourself. I went to a seminar not too long ago, a live seminar with Eric Worre. He's the author of GoPro, and he's explaining how, which makes a lot of sense. You know, let's just say right now, mentally and everything else, you're right here. Well, your business is only going to grow up to there. The more personal development you do, then your business is going to follow you. You grow more with personal development, your business will grow more, but your business is never, ever, ever, ever going to outgrow you. So if you're down here because you don't do any personal development, or you do here, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, your business will always be here. Your business will never, ever, ever outgrow you. You have to lead, and then your business will follow. And personal development is one of those things where, trust me, I try to cheat the system too. I would say, well, I'm not going to read Wednesday through Friday, but on Saturday, I'll read 2 hours. It doesn't work that way. It's just like a workout. For example, if I miss my workouts Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, I can't do 3 workouts and expect me to get the same results, right? And I say that because I used to do that. I used to try to cheat the system 15 minutes every day at least. Next thing is stay connected. This is one of my favorite ones because I remember when I was new, I felt lost. I felt like I was the only new one. I felt like, I don't know, I just felt, even though like the group, they're big and you have all this support, I still felt like just kind of lost and alone. So be sure you're always staying connected in our groups, whatever groups that you are in that your upline plugged you into. Stay connected. When someone posts something, or especially your upline, make sure you check it out. Like, we post them for a reason, right? Not just because we're bored and have nothing better to do. So always stay in the know. You should never feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was on sale, or I didn't know that was going on, or I didn't know that was going on. If you do feel that way, you're not staying connected. And part of being a great coach is staying connected and staying in the know. It's just like anything else, right? Like, you never want to feel like that person that never knows anything, or that you're like the last one to find out. I hate that feeling. You're like, what? When did we talk about this? You got to stay in the know. Be sure that you follow Carl Deichler on his Facebook. There's a Beachbody Facebook group as well. There's a few. What else is there? I think that's it. But there, and the Coach online office, and the news and training, that's where you'll find everything out. And then from us, from your uplines, we'll share all the information too. Weekly team calls. I know Ashley has hers. We both have them every single week. Be sure you tune into those live, or the recording if you absolutely have to, but there's something magical about being live. I know for me, I pay more attention when I'm live versus if I'm watching the recording, I'm just doing a million other things and then kind of listening to the call. What else? National trainings, where to find information. So your Coach online office is a place to go. Google it, GTS, right? Google that. Asking your team Facebook group. That's a big one that I really want to cover. Is number 3, asking your team Facebook group. So what I always tell my team is that we are stronger when we work together, right? It's better to work smarter, not harder. So if you have any questions, it will benefit so many more people if you ask it in the team group page. And then you tag either Ashley and I or whoever your coach is. Because versus if you send us private messages, the only one who's gonna benefit from that message is yourself. And if you ask it in the group, another person might have that same question, but they haven't asked it, or someone will have it in the future. I remember when I was in the Film Funky group, I would make it a habit to go in there every day and kind of scroll, see if I need to find something important. And then I would come across someone else asking a question. And even though I had not had that question yet, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm sure that I'm going to need this later on. And so I would make a mental note, or I would save it or something. But that's just very helpful for just everyone. Or if Ashley and I can't get to you that same day, or if it's happens to be on the weekend, Ashley and I both don't answer messages on the weekend. And so if it's important, then you should definitely post it in the groups, because another leader can help you, or we can see it because we do check our groups. We just try to stay away from our messages, our inboxes in the weekend. But definitely Google. You'll be surprised how much information you can find from Beachbody on Google and on YouTube, because if you think about it, there's like over 400,000 coaches in the network. Odds are you're not the first one to have had this question, and odds are there's probably already a video out there on something. There's probably already a document made. There's probably already a graphic made. So always Google, always YouTube too. I found so much things on YouTube. Post in the team group, and then, or if it's personal, then yes, definitely reach out to us privately. And then it says why. Our goal is to help you become as independent as quickly as possible. I love this one because I used to do that as a teacher. So you guys, I taught first grade. And so my goal was to make my little ones as independent from me as quickly as possible. And those that would become independent the quickest were the ones that were reading the quickest, the ones who were already like learning their math, knowing their numbers. So it's just kind of the same thing in a business. The quicker you become independent, just the quicker that you start to have success. You start to run your own groups. You start to do this. You start to do that, because that independency kind of builds up your confidence. But we're definitely here to help you, especially in the beginning. But do your homework as well, be a good coach. And then there's something about like finding your own answers sometimes too, like it will just kind of help you remember more, and or in the future when you see someone else asking that question, you can step in and now help them. Yay. All right, so Hitting Success Club. I know I have a few of you in here. I can see your faces right now. You're close to Hitting Success Club as a new coach. And so that's very, very, very exciting. So when I joined as a coach, my goal was never to pay for my products again. My goal was never to pay for Shakeology again, never to pay for anything again. And the way that I was going to do that, it was by helping others, because if I'm helping others, in return, I'm earning commission. So from the very beginning, in your first month as a coach, your goal should be to hit Success Club, to change at least 3 lives. And I know a lot of people will sometimes say, well, I don't really want to earn money. I just kind of want to help people. Well, if you're not helping people connecting to challenge packs or to programs, and how are you helping people? You know, you're being a great coach if you aren't helping them connect to challenge packs. So the way you hit Success Club, if you guys don't know, and again, all of this you'll hear many, many times, every time you help someone connect to a challenge pack, which is Shakeology plus a program, that's 2 Success Club points. So 3 people, that's 2, 4, 6, that's 6 points, you've hit Success Club. 3 people a month is very doable. It's very minimum. And I always think of it as, if you're hitting Success Club, every single month, that means that your business is moving forward. That means that you are doing everything that you should be doing, because I know sometimes it's hard, like, am I doing the right things? Is my business moving forward? Like, how do I know? If you're hitting Success Club, your business is definitely moving forward and you're definitely doing the right things. I've hit Success Club consecutively, I think now for 36 months. I think last month was my 36 months that I've never ever missed it. So that's 3 years in a row. Danielle told me from day one, hit Success Club, never miss it. I'm like, fine, I didn't even know what the heck Success Club was. I went to go Google it. Like, what's she talking about? And I hit it every single time, especially when I started to hear National Wake Up Calls and stalk other top coaches on YouTube. And all they would talk about was like, the key to the success is Success Club, you know, secret sauce Success Club. I'm like, oh man, all right, so I guess I hit Success Club. And that truly they were right. You know, like I was able to retire my teacher job 16 months as a coach. And I feel like it's because I focus on hitting Success Cup every single month. At first, it was just the bare minimum of 5, and then I shot for 10, and then can I do 15, and then can I do this? But at least every month I would hit it. So that's your first goal and your goal always. And nothing bad happens if you don't hit it, of course. You know, you're not going to get kicked out of Beachbody or anything like that. But Beachbody also does a really, really awesome job. They're just awesome of giving us free prices, free swag. Like right now, there should be a Shakeology apron on the way. Just little things like that. They show us that they appreciate what we do. So it's like you change lives and you win free stuff. Like that's winning. So that's your month 1 goal. And if you hit Success Cup in your very first month, you earn a call with our CEO, Carl Deichler, which really is really, really exciting. And if you hit Success Club in the first 3 consecutive months, you earn a free ticket to Summit. And if you haven't already heard, like Summit is like Beachbody on steroids. It's a yearly event. You have to get there. Like it's the best event in the world, pretty much. And you get a free ticket to that. Like I wish they would have had that when I was a coach. They didn't, but they do now. All right, so month 2, your goal is to get to Emerald Coach. And Emerald Coach, I feel like it's super, super exciting because that's whenever your business, I feel like your business truly becomes a business. So as an Emerald Coach, all you have to have is 2 people underneath you as coaches. And it can be a coach that's ready to rock the business, or that can simply be someone who wants to take advantage of the discount, because if you guys know that we get 25% off our shakes. For me personally, my very first coach was my husband. And then it was a coworker from school. She's still one of my discount coaches 3 years later. She's never wanted anything to do with the business. She's always just wanted a discount on her shakes. Those were my first 2 people. Boom, I went Emerald. And as an Emerald coach, and after this call, if you haven't done it, you can Google all the benefits. But you start to get free leads from Beachbody. If you're hitting Success Club and you're an Emerald coach, Beachbody gives you free leads. And these are people who are looking for a coach. They've either already purchased something or thinking of purchasing something, and they need a coach. And so they give these free people to Emerald and above, which is really cool. You also start to earn Team Cycle bonus. $14 every cycle as an Emerald coach, which is also pretty cool because now you're earning extra money, a little bit more being an Emerald coach. What else? I think that's it, right? We got 3 leads. Oh wait, go back. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. So your month goal is you're going to hit Success Club. By month 2, you're going to be an Emerald coach at the very least. And yeah, you're never going to want to have your products paid for again. And that's how you do it. It's always connecting people to challenge packs and or to products.
Okay.
Yes, now I'm good. Thank you. Okay, so when should I share? Now. Like you should share now. If you've already been a coach for longer than a day, you should already be sharing what you're doing. And again, it's like I talked in the beginning, like just share where you're at, use Facebook as like your diary, what you're going through. And then follow other coaches and see how they're sharing too. Because I know in the beginning it can be kind of like, oh my gosh, how do I post? What do I post? Well, follow your upline or follow someone else who inspires you. That way you can get inspiration from them and know more or less what types of things to post. But honestly, it's just start to share from your heart. If you wait until you know everything, you'll miss out on valuable experience, and you are do your friends and family a disservice. And that's so true. I remember when I first became a coach, I don't know why, it took me like 2 weeks to let anyone know I was a coach. And when I finally did, someone immediately reached out to me like, oh man, last week I purchased, I think it was Brazilian butt lift or whatever. I didn't know you were a coach. And I was like, oh no, I was like, dang it. So I should have said something right away that I was a Beachbody coach. And I should have just started sharing what I was doing. I've heard a quote once. It says something like, if there's something worthwhile doing, it's worthwhile doing wrong until you get better at it. So I know a lot of people are thinking like, I'm going to wait until I know how to craft the perfect pose. I'm going to wait until my videos are super perfect. I'm going to wait until I floss these 20 pounds. All that time that you're waiting, you're missing out on changing lives. You're missing out on motivating others. You're missing out on your business growing. What is it here? Recommending a restaurant. So a lot of people, what holds them back too is like they feel like they don't know enough yet. right? Like, oh, I don't know enough. You have to talk about what I'm doing. Like, what if they ask me questions? So what? It's just like if you go to a new restaurant, right? Or a restaurant that you really, really loved and the food was awesome. Like, you're not going to not tell people just because you don't know like every single ingredient that they used in your meal, or you don't know every single detail about the restaurant, right? No, you're just going to say, like, I went to this restaurant, the food was amazing, I ordered this, it tasted like this, and it was great, right? You share what you know. Same thing with Beachbody. I know a lot of coaches get freaked out when people start to message them, and I always say, just first, talk to everyone as if you're talking to a really good friend, right? And then just share what you're doing. Like, hey girl, I don't know, I don't know all the details, but I started this program. It's called 21 Day Fix. And I'm drinking Shakeology. So far, I've lost 5 pounds. I'm only working out 30 minutes a day. And I'm a part of this really supportive group who's motivating me and inspiring me to keep going. I'm really loving this. I've tried so many things back in the day, and I finally found something that's really working for me. It's really easy, right? It's like you don't have to know every ingredient in Shakeology. You don't have to know all the behind the scenes that went on when they created 21 Day Fix. All you have to know is why you're using it, how it's helping you, and how it can help someone else. And if you speak, again, just genuinely from the heart, that's it, right? And plus, I feel like if you do start to just vomit all this like technical information, you sound very salesy and you sound very robotic, versus if you're just like explaining what you know and why you use it. And if they ask you something that you maybe don't know, or you can say, well, I really don't know, but I do know that X, Y, and Z. I do know that Shakeology is helping me with my energy. I do know that Shakeology is helping me save money because now I don't go out to eat every single day for lunch. Or I do know that Shakeology is whatever. Like, just talk about what you do know.
Okay. Now we're going to go into where should you be spending your time and attention as a coach, because like Leticia mentioned, it's very easy to feel overwhelmed, especially in the beginning, because you feel like you want to know everything. And there is a lot to know, but not all of it's super important to know in the beginning. So here's where you want to focus your time, just to simplify this. You want to be focused on your own personal fitness. So that means you need to be doing a program, and it doesn't matter whether you've been a coach for 10 years or 10 hours. You need to be doing a program really start to finish. So that a couple of reasons. One, I think if you're all over the place and trying a bunch of different programs, it's a little bit hard for people to think that they can do what you're doing, because most people aren't going to have a ton of different programs. So it's really important to be showing them, that it's a very plug and play system. So that's really helpful. But it also goes back to being proof that the product works. So that's your first vital behavior. So you have to be accountable to your own fitness journey, doing your workout every single day and then sharing about it. And then also drinking your shake every single day and sharing about it at least a couple times a week. I don't share about my shake every single day. You can, but I just do it a couple times a week. But that's one really awesome thing that I think is amazing about being a coach, is you have built-in accountability. And I feel like I had tried so many things before Beachbody came into my life, and it wasn't really until Beachbody that I was able to find a program that I could stick with long-term. And so much of that has to do with the fact that I am public with my journey. And so that doesn't mean that I don't slip up. Leticia and I, you guys follow us, or one of us, we like to drink, we like to go out and, have tacos and enjoy ourselves and have nachos. And sometimes that means we gain weight. Sometimes it means we're way off our eating plan. And sometimes it lasts for a week or a month. But that's still all a part of a journey, and we just get back to it. So you need to be making sure you're spending your time first and foremost on your own personal fitness journey, your own personal fitness and health journey. And I love that that's a requirement of the job. Then you want to be focused on getting 3 people to join you every month. That's it. That's how you're going to hit Success Club. That's how you're going to continue to move your business forward. Your paychecks are going to increase. Your business is going to grow. You're going to continue being able to reach more people. And it's just 3 people a month. So you're going to be sharing your journey publicly, posting about it, and then you're going to be inviting people to join you. And let's say, the goal is to talk to 3 new people a day minimum. So you're messaging with 3 people a day. And even if you take the weekends off, so that would be 3 times 5, 15 times 4. So that's 60 people a month you're going to be talking with. And this is just conversations. This is not necessarily launching right into Beachbody, and we're going to talk more about this later. But this is just talking to people, just interacting with them, and establishing relationships. And you just need 3 of those people to join you. So that's your second area of focus, getting people to join you. You also want to be plugging in, like Leticia mentioned, to our team calls every single week. So both of us we have separate calls, but they're every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, West Coast time, 8 p.m. Central, in Texas time, and then 9 p.m. Eastern. We record them every week, so you can listen to the recordings, but as she mentioned, they're just not as powerful. It's way better if you can be on live. And there's something different about the energy. Stop. Oh my God, my husband's staring at me. It's so creepy.
Did you see the dog?
No. Sorry. He just came up and staring. So, okay. So you want to be plugged in, obviously, to your team page, but listening to those team calls. And we open it up and do Q&As a lot. Matter of fact, it's the 31st of this month. So not next week, but the week after that. Leticia and I do a Q&A every month. So any questions you have, we'll address on there. But we talk about things that you need to know. Every week, we talk about how to grow your business and little tips and tricks. We have guest speakers on. So they're really important calls. And it's just usually 30 minutes to an hour that you can plug into. Of course, sometimes you're not going to be able to make it, and that's what the recordings are for. But the recordings should be an exception, not the rule. The rule should be to join us live. And then the last thing that you want to spend your time on, as Leticia mentioned, is personal development. You will hear this over and over and over again, because if you're not growing yourself, you're not going to grow your business. I think it's very easy for us to focus on our physical journey, and exercise in Shakeology, that is like fitness for your body, right? But personal development is not self-help, it's fitness for your mind. And if you're not growing your mind and, exercising your mind and getting your mind in the best shape, you're just not going to grow and be successful in this business. It's just a fact. So those are the things right now, the areas that you need to be spending your time on and focusing on. So resources, we have a ton of them, and they are incredible. YouTube and Google and your team page, your team calls, the national wake-up calls. I mean, there are so many resources for you to be successful in this business. But if you're not doing these vital behaviors here, they won't do you any good. Okay, so this is where you really need to be focusing on your time, and then you can layer more things in and do more research on things and watch more YouTube videos. But you can watch a million YouTube videos, and if you're not actually putting into practice these main core areas, your business is still not going to grow. So don't be overwhelmed. Just do one thing at a time. Make a list. Check things off, and at the top of your list, these should be your 4 things that you're doing. And the team call is just, the team calls weekly. Getting people to join you is monthly, but the fitness and the personal development are daily. And then sharing, to get people to join you, you're going to be sharing every day as well. So that is where you want to be spending your time. Don't get overwhelmed. It's very common to be overwhelmed, but just breathe and one step at a time. Okay, speaking of our team pages and your resources, so there's a couple things that you can do on Facebook. So this is an example of my team page, but on your left of Facebook, on your left-hand menu bar, next to anything over here, you're gonna see this little gear shift thing. And if you click on that, you can add things to your favorites, and you can also rearrange them. And you can also remove them from your favorites. Then once you're in your team page, you can turn on notifications for things over here with these dots. And then a great resource is going to be this file section. But I want to call out to not let notifications distract you. So I advise you turn off on your phone notifications, because this will contribute to your overwhelm in the beginning. If you are getting pinged every time someone likes or comments or asks you a question about something, if it's coming up on your phone, you're going to be glued to your phone. What I recommend is setting business hours, setting the time that you're going to, sit aside to actually work your business and reach out to people and do those things, and using that time to be responding to people. But don't be a slave to your notifications. So don't let them distract you. Be, mindful of your business. And then one thing I'm going to show you quick in our team page here. So here's my team page again. And I showed you right over here, here's your gear shift where you can do things. And then the files section. And in the files section, we cover scripts. So Leticia and I both have scripts that we use to interact with people posted in our files section. And that's kind of how you can see. And those are exactly what we use. And every time I create a new script, mine are all generally the same, and I just tweak them for the new programs. But every time I create a new script, I upload it. You will also find in here, I have a link to our recordings, our team recordings that we have. We have like challenge group outlines, so what you can post every day for in your challenge group if you're hosting challenge groups. So you can see there's scripts here. There's ideas on how to interact with people, how to send new messages. There's going to be all kinds of files that are really helpful. So this is an amazing resource. The other thing that I wanted to share with you on here is how to search something. So instead of going in and asking any question that comes to your mind, you can double check and see if it's been addressed already. So like one of the questions we get asked a lot is Shakeology gluten-free? So if you type in gluten-free in this search thing, it'll pull up anything in this that it's already come up, right? So I know this question has been asked a gazillion times. Yes, it has, because not everyone's using the search feature. But is the vegan Shakeology gluten-free? Right? Yeah, someone's gluten-free. Is Shakeology? So this is the very common question. So if you have those questions, utilizing this search feature is a really great way to find information really fast, okay? And we're recording this for you. So I know we're throwing so much at you right now, just, don't worry too much about remembering it all. But I think that's all I wanted to show you on the team page. Is there anything else that I should call out here, Leticia?
No, just if you you saw a certain graphic, that you can also click where it says photos, and all the photos in that, like if you you're like, oh, I remember seeing a graphic, but I can't find it. And instead of scrolling a million times, you can click photos. And
we have this Emerald campaign. If you wanted to remember that, yeah, you can click there.
Yeah, and videos the same thing too. I think if you just remember like you saw a video.
Yeah.
But I think that was it.
Okay, cool. So that is, oops, sorry. I still want to be sharing my screen. I just want the other one. Okay, go back to present. Okay, so that is your Facebook and priority order. Now, Leticia, help us know about posting.
Okay, so I actually took these on my own Facebook. I'm embarrassing myself, and that's fine. That goes to show you that we all had a day one. We all started from the beginning. I know it's easy to start to follow top coaches or people who've been in it for a while, and you get inspired, but you also start to play the comparison game. So always remember, like everyone in this business, even Lindsay Matway, Melanie Mitchell, they all had a day one, just like you've had your day one. So don't play the comparison trap. And don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 30, because that's just going to steal your joy. It's going to drive you nuts, and it's just going to make you feel like you never do it well enough, like you're never doing anything well enough. That's what's going to make you feel. And I know, because that's what I started to do in the beginning. So anyways, what we want to quickly show you is just things not to post right away. Like, don't make our mistakes. And that's definitely never using, I won't say never, but yeah, I guess almost never using the graphics that Beachbody creates. They're amazing and they're awesome, but that's not for us to use. And this is why. Because, okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. Country Heat will be coming out in July. And there's over 400,000 coaches. If everyone is using that same graphic, you start to become white noise in the news feed. And it also starts to become very annoying, because odds are the people who are following you, they probably are also following other Beachbody coaches. Odds are. And so if someone is scrolling through their Facebook or Instagram, remember, we scroll fast. And if I see, oh, that graphic again, oh, that graphic again, oh, that graphic again, like, you don't stand out. And you want to stand out. And people can purchase these products from anywhere and anyone. What they're purchasing from you is you. Right? So what makes you unique? So this is one that I did just quickly. This was July 24th, 2013. April, March, April. It's like 4 months after I became a coach. I use the T25 graphic. I use the hip hop graphic. This doesn't even really look cute at all. And it was just like, I was giving away a free prize. And here's the big no-no I made. I put the price up here. I said at the end of the month, Focus T25 will include Shakeology going from 180. It's going to be on sale from 180, regular 205. You never want to put the prices out there. And that's just because you want to get to know the people who are interested first, right? You want to get to know their goals and what they like and what they don't like. And then once you start to have a conversation, then you can let them know the value of what they're getting. If all I tell you is that this is 180, that's all they see. They see this huge price tag, and that it's immediately going to scare them away because you didn't take time to get to know their needs. The more they open up, the more they will see the value in what they're getting, if that makes sense. Like if they let you know, and if you ask questions, that's how they're going to open it up. And I've had people let me know like really intimate things. And so the more that they are talking about why they truly are needing this, because honestly, we all need to lose weight, right? We all need to get healthier, lose weight, but each one of us has like a really meaningful reason why. And if you're able to get your people to talk about it, once you explain the price and you explain everything they're going to get, they're more likely to see the value in what you're offering versus just seeing a big old price. There's another one I did for Les Knows Combat. I put the price right on there. This was June 2013. Oh my gosh, I was coach of the year. And you know, something's kind of really more embarrassing is that one person liked this and I liked it. See, Living Fit with Leticia and one other. So, you know, it's embarrassing, but hey, I was new to once. And I made mistakes, and I probably still will make mistakes. And you're going to make mistakes. And 3 years from today, you're going to look back at your post, and you're going to be like, what was I thinking? Right? But it's okay. That's how we learn. That's how I learned. You know, if I never would have taken the risk to put this out, even though it was wrong, I would never have gotten here. There's a difference. Like I could have been scared and not posted anything at all and probably still be teaching. Or I could have been scared and made a mistake and still posted it. But then now I've been able to grow. I've been able to learn, and I've been able to get where I am now. And here again, just posted the price. And this one right here also is just, and it was just like, who doesn't want flat and sexy abs? Like I didn't even bother to write anything meaningful to that, and it's just a big old price tag. So these are just kind of posts to avoid just these graphics from Beachbody. Again, they're awesome, but they're not for us to use if you want to stand out and if you want people to purchase you because of who you are. And then just definitely don't just spit out the price right away. Okay. So now I want to show you a few examples of what to post and how different it is. So this was one that Ashley made last year, and I really liked it because first it stands out, right? Like just say I'm following a few Beachbody coaches and they're all, or not all, but they're using these graphics that all look alike. And then here comes Ashley's post. This is going to stand out to me because it's her face, right? Who do I want to help me? I want her to help me. So it's her face. It's a picture of her before and after. And in her graphic, she shares a little bit of what you can expect or what she's looking for. She says 30-minute workouts, private accountability group, starts January, February, has a cute little get lean in 2015, 15 spots available. So this is just way more personalized to her and what she is offering. So this makes Ashley stand out, even though it's probably the same program that everyone else is talking about, but she didn't even mention the name of the program here. And that's also kind of important. Both she and I try to do that just because, again, everyone else is talking Sunday Max 30, 21 Day Fix Extreme, 21 Day Fix Extreme. It becomes white noise in people's ears and people's newsfeed. And so if you don't use the name of the program in your post, I think that just gets people a little bit more curious. Like, what is this, boot camp you're talking about? This one that I did. And again, it's just a picture of me because they're getting me a before and after and just a little description of what they're getting. No grocery list, 30-minute workouts, no gym, 21-day boot camp. I didn't mention what program we're using. I will obviously once we get to talking, but I think just not mentioning the name of that program helps you stand out more because everyone else is.
And one thing I just want to add about why I don't mention the name of the program is also because in the beginning I used to, and I found that people then were, because this is how I would have been. If I saw someone getting results and they mentioned the name of the program, rather than do the scary thing and reach out and say, hey, tell me more about it, I would just Google it and then I would go buy it on my own. And that's what people were doing, was they were Googling it, going and buying it, and then because they didn't have Shakeology or the support system or the coach or the group or anything, it would just sit on their shelf and it was a waste of their money. So that's why I also stopped mentioning it, because then it encourages people to message me and I get to talk to them about it.
Cool. And
you're done.
I'm done with that one. I will say though, it's never about never mentioning, because you also, again, you want to be proof the products are working, right? So you do want people to know that you are using which type of programs, but maybe when you do a certain invite, maybe you can add like a certain spin to it, to where again, it just makes you unique, and it gets people, like Ashley said, to message you versus, oh, it's that 21-day fix program, let me just go buy it. I do it more so that they'll be curious about what is this boot camp that I'm doing. Here's another one that Ashley did. I thought was really, really good. She's really good with graphics, and it's where she's looking for people to join her team. Boss Babes Wanted. But what I want to point out to is just that the personal pictures she's using. There isn't any pictures of her, holding a Shakeology bag, or a picture of her, holding a workout program. It's just a picture of her tribe, the people that she's met in this business. It's very personal. It's very family. It's very friends. It's very fun. It's very like her. And so they know when they join, they're joining Ashley, not Beachbody, joining Ashley and her team and her tribe. So I thought this was another really good post that she made.
Okay, so now we're going to share really quick. Sorry, we're long-winded tonight, it seems like. But how you can share on social media. So these are some social media tips. You want to keep it short. So in general, like sometimes if you've seen this last one, this is a long caption, but these are going to be maybe 1 out of every 7 posts, or maybe even more than like 1 out of every 10 or something. I'm going to do a long caption. And this amount is even longer than normal, because I really wanted to tell a story here. But in general, people don't stop to read that. They'll read, a paragraph. So like 5 sentences or less, if you can, majority of your posts. Of course, sometimes you do need to tell a story and you need to talk longer, but not every one of your posts should be super long-winded, because people just aren't going to read them. So try to keep your captions, 5 sentences-ish or less. Obviously there's exceptions. Okay, and then you want to share your story and how Beachbody is helping you, because as Leticia mentioned, we're not selling products. We're not selling fitness programs. We're not selling Shakeology. At the end of the day, we are selling ourselves. We are selling a connection with us. We're selling us as coaches, because if it's just the products and the programs, they can go to Google or Amazon, or not Google, well, I guess Google, or eBay, or just beachbody.com and order it themselves. So you want to be really personal with your story and your journey, and be vulnerable too, because what's inspiring is not the end result. It's not once you have ripped abs and you've lost 50 pounds. What's inspiring is the journey. And so sharing every day when you have slip-ups, or when you totally nail it, when you see progress, or when you regress on your progress, you want to share it all, and talk about that and be very transparent. You also want to be eye-catching, so we just talked about this, but people are very quick as they're on that thumb, scrolling really quick, and we all do this, right? You scroll, and then you kind of stop it. You slow down the scroll because something catches your eye. So if you personalize these things, like when you put up the pictures that Leticia showed of just fitness programs, that's not really eye-catching. It's not going to stop the scroll. It kind of says sales. But if you, the ones that showed the good social media posts, where she showed our invites, where it was our picture of our face and also our before and afters, that's more eye-catching. It's much more personalized, and it's much more likely to stop the scroll. You also want to pick 5 categories that you can talk about on your page outside of Beachbody. So outside of just like your workouts and Shakeology, what are you going to be a resource on? So for me, I talk about my dogs. I talk about like hair and makeup and beauty things, sometimes fashion. I talk about drinking and having that balance in life. And I also do a lot of like self-love, body embracing kind of posts. And those are kind of my categories that I have become a resource on, where people would want to seek out my page, not just to see what workout I did that day. I am posting every day about my workout, but I also want to be a resource for other things. And then I'm just going to do real quick, skip to this, a rule of thumb. If you're going to be posting about your fitness, which you should, like I said, every single day, that's not the majority of what you're posting. So about 20% of what you post should be fitness. The rest should be those 5 categories, or sometimes it's not going to fit into the category. Sometimes it's just whatever it is. But it should be about other things about your life. Let people in to get to know you. Another good idea is to leave a call to action. So ask something from your audience. Ask them what they're, give them your plans, and then say, what are you doing this weekend, or what are you doing this Friday night? One of my in the beginning, a couple of my most popular posts were I was in the market for a new blender, and I asked what blender people preferred, and I just got like a ton of interaction and responses from that. I asked about what your favorite mascara was, because I was looking for a new one. So getting people to interact with you, even on something very small as what's your favorite mascara, just getting that interaction is huge. Getting people comfortable with talking to you. So give them a call to action. Sometimes it's just, hey, like this photo, any sort of call to action, give them something to do. And then you want to check and see a social media checkup. So if you were to go to your page, you're brand new coaches, so maybe you don't have pages yet, but if you were to go to your page and you scroll, would you want to follow you based on your last 5 posts? Or is it a little bit boring? So just keep evaluating, what is the story that you're sharing on social media? Am I being a resource? Am I being interesting? Or am I just selling things and being a little boring and bland? You want to have a flavor to you. But I do think, so we want to strive for 3 to 6 posts a day, which maybe sounds like a lot. And in the beginning, it is a lot of work, because you're constantly thinking, what is that next thing I'm going to post? Oh shoot, it's been a while, I need to get a post up. It's hard. It's like you have a muscle that you've never worked before. Social media muscle is a new muscle that you're going to start working as a Beachbody coach, but it soon becomes second nature, and I don't even think about it now. I take pictures all day long, and I don't use all of them, but I have them just in case, so I always have content. And there's so much social media training you can get out there, so you can find about how to get more content. But a mediocre post is better than no post at all. I think it's very important that you are posting. If you can't do 6 times a day, at least be posting 3 times a day. And if there's some days you can't get 3, you still have to show up every day. So it doesn't have to be a perfect post. It doesn't have to be amazing. A mediocre post is better than just crickets on your page. It's better than no post at all. And then you're always going to be learning from your audience, what they like to see, what they respond to, what they're engaging with, and just being willing to change and adapt to that feedback that they're giving you. Okay, so here's how you're going to talk to people in messages. So we mentioned how you're not going to put the price on Facebook because you want to interact with people. You're not going to be putting your link up so people can just be doing their own research, because again, it's a relationship business. We are wanting to work with people and finding out what their needs are so that you can fill that need. So I want you to think of this as like a lasagna. So you have to layer out the ingredients for it to come out right. If you just throw everything in, like your noodles and your cheese and your meat sauce and your veggies and whatever, all in the pot, it doesn't come out like a lasagna. It comes out like, I don't know, mishmash, I don't know. But so you want to layer it. So when someone messages you and says, hey girl, or hey guy, I'm ready to join, tell me about what this is, I'm ready to join you. You're like, oh, awesome. And either you word bomb it and you give them every fact they ever wanted or didn't even want to know, or you send them, here's your link, go check it out. You're probably not going to turn that person into a customer. You have to get to know them. So I think that it is very important to ask questions back and forth. So use the scripts that we talked about in our team page. But also just get to know them, find out, are they wanting to lose weight, or are they just wanting to get into a routine? Are they wanting to find support? Maybe they're struggling big time financially and the coaching opportunity is what they're most interested in. Maybe they're really lethargic and they have no energy to play with their kids. Like, find out what their need is so that you can fill that need for them. So you're going to layer it. You're not going to give them all the information. You're not going to give them the loaf of bread right away. You're going to breadcrumb the information. And you'll kind of see that if you check out the scripts. Okay, so here's what happens if someone says to you, what do you do as a coach? Here's a way that you can respond. I work with people online to help them achieve their fitness goals. I'm always looking for entrepreneurs like me to join my team, people who are looking for an opportunity to create more freedom in their lives. So that's just one way that you can respond. But again, when people say that, you want to, it's the same with the layering of the lasagna, get to know them. So find out what it is, like, why are they, if they're interested in coaching, why are they interested in coaching? Maybe they want to help provide for their family. Maybe they want the built-in accountability. Maybe they're lacking that support system. So find out what that is, and you can talk to that in your response. So it's, again, just a relationship building. In the journey of a coach, so right now you all are new coaches. You're brand new coaches. You just joined us. So you don't really know anything, but you're going to learn as you grow. Learn as you go, learn as you grow. The next step is you're going to be an apprentice coach. So you're welcome to join myself or Leticia or your coach in the next challenge group. So you don't have to be hosting your own. It can be intimidating in the beginning to feel like you're getting enough people to join your group to warrant its own group. But you can join us and help run a group with us. So you just can add your participants in there. Then eventually you want to be leading your own group. And then you're going to be helping people that you bring on as you build your team, helping them become apprentice coaches. So you'll be leading a group and helping other people start up their business. So that's kind of the trajectory of this business.
Okay, I'll just quickly go over this because we kind of touched on it a little bit. But again, it's just going back to, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 30. Because I know that's very easy to do, and that can be so defeating. And instead of making you feel inspired and motivated by this business, it can make you feel, again, like a failure, like you're never going to get there. So truly just follow people who truly inspire you versus following people who you kind of feel defeated by. And I just want to show you an example. This is a post I made June 2013. I signed up in April, made just 2 months after I signed up. This is a post I made. I got 3 likes. And one of them was for me again. I have no shame in my game. I like my own stuff. And the other 2, Deya and Irma, they're my teacher friends. They're super supportive. Bless their hearts. Deya, she's the one that commented. And so, this to me could have been very defeated and very like, oh my gosh. And I did feel like that a lot of times in the beginning. Like, this was actually a pretty good post, 3 likes. There was times where I got no likes at all, and I would see Danielle Tony, Fin Funky, and she'd have like, oh my gosh, over 500 likes. And so it was easy for me to say, this is never going to work for me. I suck. It's just not working. And then also I just had to learn that even though people weren't liking and commenting, that does not mean they were not watching. And so some of the best times in my first year was when I would get private messages from people who had never liked anything, they have never commented anything, and they would say things like, oh my gosh, because of you, I started working out again. Thanks so much. Or I love your videos. You're so motivating. It makes me get out of bed and work out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like people are watching. So that's something that I would always have to tell myself, like, Leticia, like likes, comments, shares, that means nothing, honestly, because people are watching you and you are inspiring people. So just always remember that. I wish someone would have told me that in the beginning so I wouldn't have felt like such a loser. So I just, fast forward now 3 years later, I made this post last month. It got 183 likes and 30 comments. So I've come a long ways, but how did I get here? Because I've built trust. During these 3 years, I've built trust with my followers. I get up every day and I said this on our team call this week. When I go to post, I always think, is this adding value in some way to people's lives? It's either by humor, by nutrition, fitness, forgot the other one. Motivation, or is it telling about myself too? Because I make a lot of just me posts, like me and Phoebe. And Phoebe, you know, had tumors and she had cancer, and then my husband. And so I also share about me, but I always keep that in my mind. And so if I'm offering, all I care about is to offer value. And 3 years of building trust and offering value has gotten from 3 likes to 183 likes. And I no longer have to like my own post, but I will if it's a really good one. I can't believe I did that. It's so embarrassing. You're building interest as well too. You build interest, pretty much you build interest, you build trust. So you have to show up every single day though. I'll tell you, from the minute I opened up my business page, which was really quickly, or as soon as I started sharing about Beachbody, which was like 2 weeks after I became a coach, I have shown up every single day for the last 3 years. There are times where I'm going through family issues, like when my grandmother passed away, or this happened, or I'm just having like the shittiest day in the world, and I want to not show up, like, and I just not show up one day, but I just think like, no, people are counting on me. I have to be consistent. There's never been a day that I've not shown up. And I think Lori said this once. She's very good at being super consistent too. And you know, it's funny, like people actually message me and they've told me, you're very consistent. I'm like, well, that's something kind of weird to tell someone. But anyways, that's because they watch you, and they're watching you, and they're watching you. And they notice how consistent you are. They notice that you show up every day. Even if you show up and you say like, I ate terrible this week and I feel really bad today, whatever, even if it's not like your usual motivating self, but you show up. You have to show up in people's lives. They're trusting you. They're counting on you to be there, even though you might think they're not. What Lori said once that really stuck to me. She said, you know, like if you own a Starbucks, because we own business, just our business is not Starbucks, but let's just say we did own a Starbucks. And, you know, have you ever gone to Starbucks and found it closed? No, you never will, right? Starbucks is open every single day, and just our business needs to be open every single day. Because what if that one day that you do not show up, someone decides, you know what? I've been seeing Ashley post every day. She's motivating me. She's showing these, before and after. She's talking about her progress. She's talking about the progress of her challengers. You know what? Today I'm going to reach out to her and I'm ready to join. Like, it's scary. I've been holding off, but I'm just going to reach. I'm just going to do it. And then Ashley doesn't pop up in her newsfeed. So this person might just be like, oh, wait, well, maybe, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't reach out to her. They start second guessing each other, or second guessing themselves. Sorry. Because no one's going to want to go to someone who's not consistent. Because these people who are having trouble with their nutrition and their weight, it's because they're inconsistent, right, with their nutrition, with their workout. So they don't want to go with someone also who's inconsistent. It's not going to be them for their everyday. But so be consistent, have patience, and just know that likes and comments don't define you, and they don't define how awesome of a job you're doing or not. I mean, play around with it. It's been trial and error the last 3 years for Facebook. And even today, like, I'll make a really good post and it'll just like, Facebook was just not in the mood to show people my posts. And I just have to remember, like, likes and comments and shares don't define all the lives that I've changed. They don't define me as a coach. And I just keep learning. And one thing I will add, from the very beginning, I knew, okay, my business is like 99% Facebook. What do I need to do to be good at Facebook? I need to get training. So I got books on social media. I started listening to podcasts on social media. I've invested in Shalene Johnson's Instagram Academy, Marie Smith's Facebook Academy, and Natalie Jill Fitness, Pinterest Academy. And no, like, I didn't have all this money just because, but I knew if I want to be better in this business, I need to get better at social media. But there's all these resources. There's YouTube videos, countless of YouTube videos on how to be better on social media. There's books, there's seminars. And so if you want to get better in social media, then you have to go out there and invest time and invest money sometimes so that you can get better at that. Because the better you get at social media, the more people you're able to attract to you, and the more people you're able to inspire and motivate. And this one, it was just about the coach training groups, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what Ashley and I want to stress is that you have already been or will be placed in a NewCoach training group. We both call it differently, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a NewCoach training group from new coaches. And so when you're in there, make sure you really give it your all. Make sure you dive in and you go through each assignment. Like, it took Ashley and I both time to put those together for new coaches. And we both think that everything in there is everything that a new coach needs to learn to get their feet wet, to hit the ground running if you're ready to hit the ground running. So be sure that you show up every day. You only get out of that training what you put in, right? It's not that we can't like put magic dust on you or anything. You really just have to go in there and give it your all. And I love to share one of Eric Worre's quote that you will hopefully read soon, because it's the book called Go Pro, one of my favorite books on network marketing. But he said, you will be successful, you know, in any kind of business, an entrepreneur business, in any business. Sorry, that's Phoebe. She has this huge cone she can't get used to. You will be successful because of you. And also, if you fail in something or in business, it will be because of you, right? At the end of the day, it's up to you. You are your own CEO. Ashley and I are your upline. We're here to help you and motivate you and teach you what we think would be helpful for you, but we can't do it for you. We can't pull you. We can't push you. That has to come up to you. If you meet us halfway, I know both Ashley and I do the same way. Like, if you want to walk, we'll walk with you. If you want to jog, we'll jog with you. If you're ready to sprint, then we will sprint with you. We will only match your energy. We're not going to come knocking on your door to hold your hand. Did you get your vital behaviors in today? Did you get your workout? Did you do your personal? Like, no, that's not the way it works. In this business or in any business, you really have to give it your all and give it time. There's one thing that I like to tell people is, like, imagine Beachbody as a relationship. Either you're married or a really serious relationship, right? You're in it in the good days and the bad days. Just with my marriage, in any marriage or any relationship, you know there's going to be amazing days where you're on cloud nine, and there's going to be days where you want to kill that other person and you just want to end it. Same thing with this business, right? And I don't say that to scare people. I say that because I want to be realistic with you, and I want to let you know that there's going to be days where you feel awesome. People are saying yes, you're helping people, like your posts are doing well. And then there's going to be days where you're getting no's, like 30 no's a day. No one wants to join your group. Your posts are just blah, you feel awful, and you're going to feel like quitting. But in those days where you're tested, you have to know, okay, Leticia said there will be good days and there will be bad days. And Ashley and I still have bad days. And maybe we even have more bad days now that this is our full-time career than before. But I know now that it takes time, it takes commitment, it takes dedication, it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of trial and error, it takes a lot of growing yourself with personal development. But it will work. Like, if it's worked for Ashley and I, why can it not work for you? That's what I always remember too in my first year, when I had a lot of days where I was tested and I had to like my own Facebook post. I would always think, you know, if Danielle could do it, she used to be a teacher, why can't I? Like, you know, we are not more talented, we are no more smarter, we are no more anything than any of you. If we're able to succeed in this business, then anyone can, but you just have to make it work and show up every single day, especially on those days where you don't want to. Those are the days where you especially need to show up. Were you going to talk about this, Ashley?
I can. And then the last slide, you guys, is just that, speaking of being your own CEO, and that we are not going to drag you to be successful. We can't make you successful. All we can do is give you the tools that we use to be successful, but you also have to be solution oriented. So, you know, don't get so in your head about things, and don't be, get really down on stuff, or when things get tough, like Leticia is mentioning, like, things will get hard, and you will have people that come out and they want to hate on you for trying something different, or they want to tell you that you're just selling things, or all you do is post about fitness. Those people are generally probably insecure. And you know that quote that I've never met a hater doing better than me. So be solution oriented. Don't just sit there and sulk and focus on the bad parts, or if you're getting no's, or if you're hearing crickets on your page, go seek out the solution. Stay plugged into your page. think about your future in this business and, lead with integrity, lead with heart, and keep people in mind, because what you focus on expands. So if you're focused on the bad and you're focused on feeling insecure and unsure about yourself as a coach, and if you're not going to be successful in this or that, that's what you're going to get. But if you think about your future in this business as there is no, like Leticia was saying when she's watching Danielle, if she did this, why not me? It's the same with you. So if you're focusing on why not me? If I just do these things, why not me? That's what you're going to get. Okay, and that's the last slide, so then we can have you guys hung with us for a bit. Sorry, this went over an hour, but we have Q&A. So does anyone have any questions for us? Let me read through some of these, but any questions, you're welcome to unmute yourself or just ask in the chat window, and we'll just take a couple questions. But I know we already went over an hour, and we don't want to take all your whole evening, so.
Yeah, Erica asked a question. I just told her she was just kind of having issues with not knowing to post on personal or post on a like. So I just sort of stick with her personal for now until she got good at the personal page, and then go over to a like page.
Yeah, perfect. And I also say, if I were to start out now, I would start with my personal page and Instagram. Rather than starting a like page on Facebook, because Facebook is just so tricky with the algorithm. I mean, that's definitely my bread and butter. I love Facebook. That's where a majority of my business comes from. But Instagram is so much more user-friendly. It's so much easier for people to find you. And if someone likes you, you just show up in their feed. It's not like on our pages, I have 19,000 followers on Facebook, and on average maybe 4,000 people see my post because Facebook's just not showing it to everybody. On Instagram, everyone sees your stuff. So, and it's also very it's focused on Instagram, so you can really just share your journey and be super focused on fitness there if you want to. On Facebook, you can't. You have to be be a resource and be those 5 things that you are. So I would say definitely start with your personal page, and then an Instagram, and then when you're ready, you can start your Facebook like page.
Yeah, and that's not to scare you guys away from a like page. I mean, like pages are amazing. Like Ashley said, I know that's the bread and butter of my business too. But if you're not, it does take time and commitment for a like page. So that's why I always say, once you get comfortable with your personal page and you're like, okay, cool, I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day. This is getting easier. It's not so much of a chore anymore. It's something like just a habit. Then that's when I would proceed over to a like page, because it does take time in the whole algorithms and learning and trainings on it. If you want to have a very effective like page, it does take a lot more work and time for it. And I know in the beginning, it's easier just to use your personal page. Plus, on your personal page, you already have like your warm market, and those are usually the people who join you right away. But that's not to say never open a like page. You definitely want to.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and close it off. So thank you for joining us. I hope that I see some not so new faces on here. So for some of you, I hope you guys, if you are new, I hope this was really helpful for you, and you kind of have a trajectory on where to get started and where to focus your time. Remember, don't get overwhelmed. That was a lot of information, but just focus on you and your journey, work on your personal development, work on making sure 3 people are going to join you every month. So that comes from sharing and inviting and talking to people, and then staying plugged into the team page and listening to those team calls. But thank you guys for spending so much of your evening with us. We really appreciate it, and we will see much more of you guys soon.
Thank you guys. Good night.
Bye.